Hi, I'm Stacy Hyde, and welcome back to Better Financial Health in 15 minutes or less. And let's be honest, it's usually less than 10 minutes. So today I want to talk about life insurance. But before you roll your eyes back in the back of your head, I do want to spend just a few minutes talking about why this could be important for you. If you're single and you have no dependents, probably not something you really need. So if you're offered some at work, you may want to take it just in case you might need it in the future. But certainly if your college roommate's brother is starting to sell life insurance, you can rest assured that you're in pretty safe spot saying, no, I'm not really interested in meeting with him or her right now. But let's talk about who really needs life insurance. If you're married and you have young kids, particularly if one of the spouses does not work, you really, really need life insurance. And even if both spouses work, you likely still need a significant amount of life insurance. And what do I mean by significant? If you're young and you have young kids, so you're just getting started in your career and you have things oftentimes like a mortgage and other bills because maybe some student loans. Well, if something were to happen to you, you'd want your kids to be able to go to college and maybe not have to deal with student loans. So you want to make sure that you've got enough life insurance that if something were to happen to you, that your spouse and your children could continue the same lifestyle that they were experiencing now without having to worry too much about how they're going to pay for everything. And the really good news is you can get a lot of term life insurance, like $1 million policy, probably if you're healthy, and by healthy I mean you're pretty good height and weight, don't have any chronic health conditions like cancer or heart disease, that type of thing. A lot of times you can get it for less than $50 a month, $1 million worth of coverage, and the premium will be level for 20 years. And that's what I want to talk about. What type of life insurance do you need? I'm a huge advocate of term life insurance. And all I mean by term is it's temporary insurance. It's there to give you a lot of protection during the period of time when you need it the most. Because the goal is, as you contribute to your retirement plans at work, as you save money, as you pay off debt, you get to a point in the future where you no longer need the life insurance. So when that term period ends, say 20 years, hopefully you don't need any more life insurance, or you don't need as much. So you can actually purchase a smaller policy at that point. So term life comes in 10, 15-year, 20-year, and 30-year primarily. There are some exceptions, but those are generally what you'll see. 20-year is really a nice happy medium as far as affordability and cost. 30-year oftentimes will cost double the amount of 20 years. So what I've done for clients where they're pretty sure they've got a 30-year need, but they may not need that full amount for 30 years. So what we may do is put together, say, $500,000 of 20-year term and $500,000 of 30-year term, so they have a total of $1 million for 20 years, but then for that last 10, they just have $500,000. And the insurance company that you use, you just want it to be a quality company, strong financials. And companies we use a lot, Principal Life, Lincoln Life, Prudential, Protective Life, those type companies are very active in the term marketplace. They have very good rates. And depending on your situation, one insurance company may offer you better rates than another. I lost my mother when I was 21. She died at 46 of cancer. Some insurance companies wouldn't give me the best rates, even though I'm in really good health, because I have what's called a negative family history. but yet other companies will. So it's important to work with someone who is going to shop different insurance companies and help you find the right one. So that's a good thing to know there. The other thing I want to talk about is when might you need something more than term life insurance, what's also known as permanent life insurance or whole life. If you have a child with a disability or something along those lines, you're likely going to need to provide for them for their entire life. So at that point, you have a permanent need. And life insurance can be a very cost-effective way to provide for a child or other family member in that situation. So in that case, you might actually need some permanent life insurance. Some people use insurance that they've paid a lot more than the required minimum premium to provide what's called the life insurance supplemental retirement. But I only think that those are appropriate if you are already maxing out your 401k, if you're already saving substantial amounts after tax, and that's kind of the icing on the cake. So if you think about the hierarchy of needs, the people that would apply to are very much the top edge, and not everybody's even going to be interested in that. The key thing to keep in mind if you're exploring that or interested in a life insurance supplemental retirement feature is you definitely want to make sure that the insurance company you're dealing with is solid and that they have a history of treating their existing policyholders well. Because when you look at these illustrations, they'll show you projections, but then you'll see there's the guarantees in the contract. Well, it's easy to see sort of what the policy's earning and what their crediting rates are and things like that. I would go way over my allotted time if I got into the different flavors of those. But let's just suffice it to say, insurance companies have a lot of leeway to change the cost of insurance. And it's not really easy to see that in permanent life insurance, but it can have a huge impact on whether those policies actually function like you intended if you're using it for supplemental retirement. That's actually one of the advantages of term life, because if you buy a 20-year level term policy, that premium is guaranteed for that full 20 years. It will not increase. That's the beauty of it, and that's why I think they're so good. But if you're looking at using it for something else, you definitely want to look around, talk to an agent, and get some recommendations among what might be the best for you in that situation. So bottom line, if you're not married, if you don't have any kids, then you likely don't need to pay a lot of attention to life insurance. But if you're married or divorced, widowed, you really need to make sure that you're protecting those people who are depending on you being there and providing for them financially. And thanks for tuning in, and we hope that you will come back again.